In regards to the interpretation for the scope, motor skills and processing skills are shown to be in the greatest deficit for this individual child. The the primary areas that are addressed in first aid problem solving skills are processing skills such as problem solving. The difficulty in actually being able to manage that was shown to translate into other areas such as ADLs, which is shown in habituation through daily activities being identified as restricted, and through social participation in the category of communication and interaction skills, which was shown to be an area that inhibits the child's participation. So because all these areas were inhibited or that were shown to be in deficit as a result of poor problem solving skills and a combination of poor motor skills, the areas that should be addressed within this treatment should be in regards to motor skills. Now, for the goal of this treatment was going to be, in regards to working on motor performance or motor skills, so that they could be generalized into a play setting. That's why the various activities that are engaged in that work on motor skills are meant to increase strength, endurance, and coordination in the context of play. So to start off, the main idea of the treatment session that I would have provided was going to be in regards to a scavenger hunt. Now, the scavenger hunt would have been about 6 different activities, and would have had the child go from different areas, work on problem-solving skills, and try to get them to be engaged. And it also gives them little opportunities to say hi to other kids that they're passing by, or say bye, or little social interaction things that you can kind of work on, and it's not really focused on, but it can be initiated as you go. So for the initial activity that I was going to work on was going to be, or for the initial part 1 of the scavenger hunt, was going to start off with getting little Velcro balls that would have been Velcroed on top of a cabinet, let's say, and the child would have gotten each individual ball off of the Velcro, and the Velcro would have initially been right above the child's head, like about a foot above the child's head, and with the idea that it's meant to have the child reach above their head, so that it works on building up upper extremities and gives them a little warm up. Yeah, it's not much, but it's meant to start them off. And the next activity would have been to try to guess, or not guess, but after getting the initial Velcro balls, then we would have transitioned to a clue that would be provided, so that the client would be directed to another area to throw the balls and get their next clue. And that would have been the playroom, where they would work on going to the playroom, and they would try to throw a bunch of little tennis balls that were already in the OT room, and they would try to throw them onto a little target. And this target would be adjusted to the level that you would want to engage the child. So you want to work on making the task more difficult. Try to have it a little bit more above your head, about 1 foot or 2, if the child can do that. But if you don't believe that the child can, then you would try to do it at shoulder level or a little bit lower. So you try to see what their performance is at that time. Try to do it about 3 times, and have them aim at the target, and then try to have them do that 3 times, and then give them the clue. Now with the clues, the idea is not to try to get them to do high complex riddler questions. It's not meant to do that. It's meant to try to get them to think in a different context. So that you would give the child about 5 seconds, maybe 5 to 10 seconds, and then try to see if they can get the answer to the question. So what's an example, or where is a room around here that would have a bunch of multicolored little balls inside of a big tank? And the idea would be that you would let them give them about 5-10 seconds, and then they might say the ballroom, or you could give them like a hint, like maybe the ballroom, maybe, and like, oh yeah, that's where that could be true, and then you would go to that area, and then you would find another little like obstacle that. So let's say this would be the ball pit, you would be right here, or this would be the ball pit, you would be right here, and then the little obstacle or the little ring that you would be collecting from every scavenger hunt so that you can show that you're making progress would be right here. So the goal would be you would start here and then you would work through the ball pit, grab the ring, come all the way back. And that would be the general idea. So that you could have them like you could have them work on having fun for one, and like because it's kind of fun like going through like a little ball pit, and like you could foster a little bit of, well, no, just try to keep it simple for now, and then just try to have them get the little ring and then come back, and then you could move on to the next question or the next riddle, which would be in regards to a basketball activity. And the main idea would be that you would work on trying to play like an activity of horse, and you would have them, what was it, play horse, which works on more of upper extremity as opposed to lower extremity, which sometimes basketball requires a lot of mobility. This would try to eliminate that and try to work on more focusing on the upper extremities. And then for the next activity for like that would try to work on would be in regards to a trampoline and bear crawl activity, which would be through a tunnel. We try to do this 2 times, and then you would try to lead the clue, or the last clue would be get all the individual rings back to the OT room, like before the time is up, and the time would be, that would be up would be the OT session, and then like at the end you try to do like high five. So that would be the general idea, like treatment wise, that I would like to do, because one, it works on trying to build up different play activities that you can do working on building up performance, such as going into a ball pit. I mean, you have that on a consistent basis that kids love to do, as you see them like at Target, as you see them at a Pizza Hut and or Peter Piper, I guess it would be called Peter Piper Pizza. Yeah. You see them at Peter Piper Pizza and different little play areas that kids love to do, and that's something that the child can engage in and have fun with. And basketball, something that's the individual child can engage in and use it as a social participation activity in the future, like with other kids. And the tennis balls being another activity that you can use, such as like playing baseball with a child's dad, or like with other peers in an after school activity. Also room for social participation in the future. All these activities are generalizable into the future, and yes, focusing on improving the motor skills, but still translated into play occupations. Now, for the goals that I believe that should be made for this client are going to be in relation to motor performance, being the client will complete a 4-step obstacle course with minimum assist with minimum assist upon discharge, and that's gonna be for the long-term goal. And for the short-term goal, is it going to be that the client will initiate a volleyball activity with a beach ball with a peer for 10 minutes with minimum assist within 4 weeks. Now, or within 2 weeks. Now, the main idea is that this works on improving endurance and coordination in a perceived to be low endurance activity. But if it is a little bit challenging to complete this activity, instead of an overhead volleyball activity, try to make it more of an underhand and more of focusing on trying to build up engagement and social participation with another child, by showing also improved endurance. So that's the primary goal of short-term goal that was given. And that will conclude my full interpretation.